the general manager for global business development at DHI. Prior to this, I was the vice president for business development at Franchise India and the chief business officer for Kaya Group of companies. By my heart, by my brains, I'm a strategic sales evangelist with almost 1.5 decades of experience in exponential growth enablement and business development across multiple sectors via franchising, distribution, and product placement. In my current role at DHI, I take care of the business expansion of DHI in about 145 countries of the world. Very humble to have received last year's Global 50 Glory Awards. The reason that award is super special is because it has felicitated women leaders like Deepika Padukone, Priyanka Chopra, and Hillary Clinton in the previous years as female leaders. Very proud to have received this year's WASME's Best Business Consultant. WASME is World Association for Small and Medium Enterprises, and it has its headquarters in about 118 different countries. By my heart, I'm a classically trained singer and dancer, obviously because of the Bengali gene in me. Very passionate about creative writing and starting entrepreneurs and startups in their brand creation journey. And that prompted me to start my entrepreneurial venture about a year back, along with my main job. And it focuses purely on content creation and brand building for startups. I also volunteer in the capacities of Wiki State President for Sales and Business Development Council, Delhi chapter, and a mentor on the platforms of Sales for Mentoring, AICTE, All India Council for Technical Education, and a guest lecturer on Symbiosis University. By my passion, I'm driven as a senior Iron Lady program leader, having mentored almost 800 plus mid-corporate women professionals and entrepreneurs till date. So primarily, after having heard that really long introduction, primarily I'm a saleswoman. So I know how to sell, I know how to network, I know how to talk, I know how to develop relationships, and I know how to manage them. And that's like my mool mantra of life. I have believed in that myself for the last 15 years, and I whenever I am mentoring new people who are venturing into the field of sales, I always say this to them, that you should never celebrate closing a sale. Always celebrate opening a relationship, because when you close a sale, it's a transactional thing that you close. When you open a relationship, there are many more avenues in which you can explore that relationship for mutual benefit and rewards. So having with that started, the intent of the session is, I have not prepared any PPT or all, because that's a very boring way to conduct a session. What I would rather do is talk about my organization, what am I currently doing at my organization, and a very pertinent topic for everybody today, which is hair loss. So my organization deals with it's the world's #1 brand for hair restoration in the world, and I know every single one of us sitting here has suffered from hair loss at one or the other point of time. And since all of you are networkers, entrepreneurs, business people, so obviously fulfilling those targets and getting those business is a cause of stress that will ultimately result into hair loss. So in my current portfolio, that's what I do. I am promoting the brand for brand of DHI into about 145 countries. So there are primarily three verticals that we take care of. Number one is DHI hair restoration treatments as a service. So one is the hair transplant, of course. We are the pioneers in hair transplant. So before I even jump into the hair restoration industry, hair transplant industry in itself is a very unorganized market, extremely unorganized market. You will find a lot of technicians, a lot of not so qualified doctors opening up their centers and doing hair transplants at a very cheap rate, like 30,000, 40,000 and things like that. The difference between them and a brand like DHI stands that these people are only bringing a business proposition for you, wherein they are just taking a small amount of money, and it's the technician that takes care of the transplant. Now, what the challenge there is, the technician is not skilled enough to handle the grafts and the transplants properly. Whereas at DHI, it is the surgeon who takes care of the entire surgery end to end. The technician or the assistant is not even allowed to touch the scalp of the patient. So the difference in the results is is extremely drastic. You name any celebrity in the Bollywood world, you name any industrial businessman, corporate tycoon, and they've been a patient of, they've been a client of DHI, except for Salman Khan. Salman Khan has not been. So, except for him, I think every single person who's gone on a hair transplant procedure has taken it from DHI. So, hair transplant, of course, is our specialty. It's our bread and butter product, and it has a 98% graft survival rate. And the best part about DHI hair transplant is it's zero downtime surgery. For example, you walk into a DHI clinic, you get a hair transplant done, and then you walk out as if nothing has happened. You just go on and carry on with your work. And that's exactly, I mean, my own MD of the organization, he got a hair transplant done in the morning, and then he came back to the office to grill us back again on the sales targets in the afternoon. That's how easy the procedure was. Apart from hair transplants, some things that you should definitely be considering are some other hair restorative treatments, which is PRP and GFC. So PRP is nothing but platelet-rich plasma. What they do is they take out the hair, they take out blood from your arm, and they rotate it in a centrifugal machine. And when they do so, the plasma gets separated from the blood, which is platelet rich, and then that is injected into the part of the scalp which has some kind of balding issues or some kind of hair loss issues. And that's an extremely beneficial and powerful tool of hair restoration, particularly for men and women who are experiencing very early stage baldness, who are not exactly hair transplant patients as of now. So PRP stands there. GFC is the same procedure as PRP. The only difference is they add, after the plasma is separated, they just add another set of nutrients into it before injecting it into the brain. So before injecting it into the scalp. So the only difference between PRP and GFC stands as at the extra nutrients that are added in, extra growth factors that are added in. Apart from that, we have a product range, which is your hair conditioners, serums, shampoos, tonics, and nutraceuticals. So probably I'll just share the screen for a second here, and I'll try and show it to you. So I'll not go deep dive into it. The intent is just to familiarize you with what the concept is, and then probably if anybody is interested in having a conversation, you can definitely connect with me offline on this. So it's decades of research and development that happens at our mother country, Greece. So DHI originates from Greece, and we have 4 ranges of shampoo. One is for daily use, one is for oily hair, one is for normal hair and dry hair. And we have a conditioner, a serum, tonic, and some nutraceuticals, which is DHT blocker and your multivitamins. Apart from this, you have something, and I would like to explain this to you. You have something which is a very beautiful product called a laser cap. So laser cap is for those people who are extremely busy, as I assume bank people are. Right, the whole networking group is super busy, but they still find out time to network with each other and look for multiple avenues to grow their business. So laser cap is a very home based treatment. It works like a cap. You place it on your scalp, and while you're doing anything, just like, I mean, you're watching this session with me, you are working on your laptop, you are on a phone, you're lying down, you're eating, you can just wear that cap, and the cap does the work. The laser gets activated when it touches the scalp of your head, and for the next 30 minutes, the laser does its work. You have to use it twice in a week, and you start seeing results, brilliant results, fabulous results in about 4 to 6 weeks. Why was laser cap invented? Because earlier it was the laser treatment that was being done in the clinics. However, with people's immense schedules, which are busy and packed, it is very difficult to spare a whole day to come to the clinic and get the procedure done. So this acts as a hair care routine for you at your home. Just do it, whatever you're doing. Along with that, do a laser cap treatment, and it just doesn't work for you. It works for the entire family. You know, it's like one person purchases the product and the entire family can use it. It is absolutely safe, US FDA approved, 100% 100% no zero side effects. There are 100% safe. There are no medical complications. It's just like wearing a normal simple cap. I myself have been using that for the last 2 quarters. So I can know more than a DHI employee. I can vouch as a customer, as a consumer of the product. So that's another vertical, the product section, apart from the treatments. And the third is a business opportunity that we have for franchising and distribution. So franchising, of course, we come at a model wherein you can come into a business association with us. Just to give you a number, we have about 80 clinics running in about 45 different countries of the world. And our plan is to expand to another. We have a mandate for expansion into 145 countries, and we are looking at that kind of an expansion in the next 5 to 7 years. That's on our charts. In India itself, we have our clinics in about 14 different places, and 3 of the franchisees have been finalized that are slated to open up in the next 1 quarter. One is in Ranchi, one is in Visakhapatnam, Vizag. These are the franchisees that have recently been closed, and we are looking forward at closing something in Srinagar, Dehradun, and probably Varanasi. So we are very strategic in terms of our expansion. Every year we look at opening up about 5 clinics internally within the country, and about 8 to 10 clinics overseas. So franchising, it's like the typical model of franchising. It comes with a franchise fee. The only benefit of taking a DHI franchisee stands at getting a immensely successful business model that has made many people who have joined us at an early stage multi-millionaires today, because we are not in the volume game. So we do not, my ticket sizes starts at 1.75 lakhs and above. So obviously I do not run after volumes. I run after very low ticket size, very low percentage of people, but high ticket size clients. So in comparison to that, we have to take care of about 7 to 8 clients, and we are sorted for the business on a monthly basis. So that's the beauty of the business, that you don't have to run after numbers, you don't have to run after volumes to ensure that you have a very decent top line and a bottom line. So with that being said, I think that covers the 3 primary aspects of DHI, which I wanted to introduce you with. And just as an additional bonus of having come here, and something specially for the DHI crowd, for the bank crowd, there is an additional offer that I bring along with me, a coupon. If you want to use that coupon, you are more than welcome. I'll just paste the coupon in the chat box. So that gives you an additional 10% off on our already existing offers on the website. It gives you an additional 10% off. So the coupon that I've just now placed works on the products, and the second coupon that I'm placing gives you an additional 6,000 off on the purchase of laser caps. I've put that in the chat box. If anybody wants to avail it, please go ahead and avail it. I think the deadline is 9th of September till 5 p.m. And even if you are not able to, there are some technical difficulties, you can definitely get in touch with me. I am sharing my number for your perusal. That's more on the professional side of it. If anybody is interested in exploring any kind of opportunity with me regarding DHI as a client, as a business opportunity, as a distribution opportunity, or just to know about DHI more, or just to get a kind of get a kind of free consultation. So I can ensure that you can land up in one of our clinics, and you get a free consultation with our doctors, so that they can guide you on the right step forward. It's a no obligation consultation call. Normally we charge 1,000 rupees. So just for bank people, I would be more than happy to extend an invitation to join, to attend one of our clinics, get a free consultation done, get an analysis done, and figure out what's the challenge. I mean, I can see from some of the inside photographs that some of you would like that consultation and would like to take up on that offer. So please feel free to reach out to me if you need any kind of coordination in arranging the same. That finishes my professional pitch. Coming on a personal level, while I have already explained about who I am, I would probably like to show you a little bit of insight about me. I love weaving stories through my professional, my personal experiences, whatever has been so far. Um, I have always been a salesperson. That is something that I've realized. I've worked in multiple industries. So the perennially dissatisfied soul in me keeps looking for newer options, keeps looking for greener pastures. Stagnancy is something that I hate. I love to manage my energy and ensure that I can communicate a little bit of that energy into the group or the room that I'm addressing. Um, yes, 2 times international awardee, that just goes on to validate the kind of work that I do. I love brainstorming. Being a strategic person by nature, I love brainstorming on ideas, and that is what fulfills my premise of speaking to startups, speaking to new ideas on a daily basis, speaking to fabulous new minds about various different ideas to solve various problems that are there in the Indian economy today. When I joined in, I was looking at a very nice brainstorming session with Far Network, I believe. So yeah, I mean that is exactly what I believe in. Two minds are better than one, four are better than two. So the more you brainstorm, the more ideas come up, and the more clarity of the thought process that you want ahead comes in. By my brains, I think I've already told you what all do I do professionally. By my heart, I'm a little tilted towards the concept of feminism. I am a gender neutrality activist, so I'm not a feminist who hates men. Definitely not like that, but more of a gender neutrality activist, wherein I believe that let us not identify people as male and female, and rather let that be a very non-binary, neutral perspective that we have towards a person, and look at them as a personality rather than as classifying them as a gender or something. I remember a long while back, I was addressing a conference, and somebody in their introduction referred to me as a womanpreneur, and I had a very difficult time digesting that. The term itself, because we do not call the males in the entrepreneurial industry as menpreneurs, but somehow we feel the need to tag women as womenpreneurs or shepreneurs, and that just irked me a little, and I ended up creating quite a controversy on the stage while I was delivering that speech for about 15 minutes of keynote speech. But yes, that's what I believe in. Gender neutrality, something that is very core to my heart, and a passion that I desperately believe in. Diversity champion. While being gender neutral, I of course look at creating that kind of uniformity in the diversity that we have around our workplace in whatever best possible manner that I can. I am a content writer. Uh, I love since storytelling is something that floats my boat. So content creation comes very naturally to me. And ending the whole professional introduction, I firmly believe a lot can happen over coffee, and I have seen a lot happening over coffee, and not just in dating. So I think professional networking is a lot like dating. And I say that to almost every event of mine. I say this at the risk of sounding repetitive, that that professional networking is like dating. So you will meet people that you don't want to meet again, but you will also meet people that you would want to have a lifelong relationship with. So having said that, let us professionally date each other and find out where we can have long-standing relationships with. I am a tea person, but I would definitely want to catch up over a cup of coffee or a virtual cup of coffee with you. I open the stage to questions. If there are any questions about hair or any non-hair questions, I would be more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, of course. I think thank you so much, Rimjhim. And we at Bank believe in the mantra that bonding before business. So whatever you do, if you go with the intent of doing good bonding, building good relationships, I think everything rest follows. And I just wanted to ask you before we open for DH, and of course, people, and of course, I had a word with, Arun while I was in US with him, that,
Right.
this is what we are doing. And interestingly, in your session, we have a lot of people who are from Australia,
Oh,
US,
brilliant.
I'm in Canada.
Yeah.
So, you are already 145 countries, we're touching at least 5, 6 of them now. So my question, because you are here, and I think sales is something which you are a champion, and you've been doing it so passionately. Usually, what happens is that all of us are entrepreneurs coming from different backgrounds, and sale is a function because as an entrepreneur, you are juggling so many balls all the time, and I
Yes.
think sales is one of the most critical functions out of that. So I would love to know your thoughts, 2 or 3, tips or something which you have learned, that okay, if you are really wanting to increase your sales, or how to really go about it, so anything you want to share, I think that will be beneficial for everybody, for our community.
For
And
entrepreneurs particularly?
yes, absolutely,
Okay.
and all of us here are entrepreneurs, different
Right.
stages
Right.
of their lives, right? So that will be
Right.
really good.
Right. Sure. And thank you for that question. And Jaspreet, I think I have had multiple conversations with many entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs somehow come from the bias that we are people who address a solution to an existing problem, or else we are product creators or service creators. We are not salespeople. That is a bias that entrepreneurs come from, that
Like themselves.
I'm an idea creator. I am not a salesperson. Unfortunately, when you don the hat of an entrepreneur, no, you are starting from the salesperson to the product owner to the marketing guy to the finance guy, to the operations guy, to the admins guy, to the cleaning guy of your office. Every single hat is something that you have to don. You cannot run away from it, sitting behind a personality that I am not a salesperson. Second myth that I would like to break from every entrepreneur is, whether you know it or you don't know it, you are already selling. You may not realize it at a conscious level that you're selling. I am assuming all entrepreneurs here are fathers or mothers, or some on the way to becoming fathers or mothers. And the best way that we can talk about selling is how a mother sells the concept of eating green vegetables to a child, that they will become somebody like Shaktiman. That is a sales pitch right there, right? So every conversation that you are having is in fact a sales conversation, is in fact a pitching conversation. The minute you go in with that intent in your mind, that I am just putting my best foot forward, the minute you hide behind the guard that I am not a salesperson, I don't know whether I have that convincing ability, that game is already lost. You just have to speak from the heart about your product, about your services. But at the same time, I have seen entrepreneurs getting too attached to their product. Of course, it's their baby, so they're supposed to get attached, and they focus to the they shift their focus from the business side of it to the product side of it, or to the core idea side of it. So the more they talk about idea in an actual sales pitch, that kind of deviates them from the business projection. So let's say Karan comes to me and wants me to kind of associate with him on some level for expansion of FAR network. So while I would love to hear what FAR network does, what I would more interested is in hearing what FAR network does to me. So if Karan can address my need in his pitch, that is what makes me sit down and listen to him. Otherwise, neither I am Karan's girlfriend nor I am Karan's wife. I am not obligated to sit and listen to him, right? Until and unless Karan creates that need for me to listen, that this is something that is solving Rimjhim's need, that is when Rimjhim sits up and wakes up and starts to talk about it. As long as Karan keeps talking about how beautiful FAR network is, it doesn't really bother Rimjhim. So I think that customization of the pitch, catering to the need of the other person, I think that would make them sell their product much beautifully than just selling their product, but customizing it to the need of the other person.
Right, absolutely. What's in it there for the customer, right? So how we are adding value to that.
Correct. And that's a generic. See, what another mistake that I've seen entrepreneurs making is, they have a sales pitch or they have a product pitch, and that's a very generic spread across everybody. So it's a very unambiguous pitch. right? So the challenge with that is that pitch might work on some people, might not, because every person is different, every business opportunity is different, every category of people that you address is different. So your same thorough page might not work everywhere. So you need to have it. It is like getting a job. The same resume will not work everywhere. You have to customize your resume as per the job description. So I think it works the same way. You have to customize, you have to feel the pulse of the crowd, and then be open to spontaneously customize your pitch immediately and get into that customized version spontaneously. So I think that is that spontaneous understanding of the pulse of the crowd or pulse of the person that you're speaking to, and then altering your business proposition according to it. I think that will go wonders.
Oh, great. That's really good. So I'll just have one more question and then probably we'll open it up for everybody.
Sure.
You spoke about a lot can happen over coffee, and I'm a firm believer of that. And you are a big networker, and you continue to participate in various events as well. So what is your take on building long-lasting relationship? How does it really work for you? How has it worked for you? And what would be your advice? Because we are a community, and in fact, networking word has been so abused, and sometimes it's not really looked at the best sense, because when you say I'm doing networking, then it means you're getting doing it for your self benefit, right? But I think it's beyond that. So what is your take on that, and how would you really do it to make it effective, long term, lasting, and wherein actually a lot can happen?
Right. So I'll again answer that with a probably a little radical or a bold statement. I'm sorry that comes in my nature. So I always am a very firm believer of a one night stand can never replace a long standing relationship. So a one night stand can give you instant gratification, but it can never supplement a long standing relationship. A long standing relationship is something that will always give you more comfort, more love, more fun, more energy, more spark. So I think that answers your question in a nutshell. But just to elaborate on that a little bit more, I believe in the mantra that you should never look at closing a sale just because of a number. That's a number that you have to achieve, or a target that you have to achieve, because the more you are driven by closing sales, the more your human brain or the psychology is tempted towards presenting some features of your product or service that are not actually true. Then you end up making a very over exaggerated sales pitch, because the number is what is driving you. If the number and target can be put aside and think of the relationship and nurturing that relationship can open up multiple avenues for you, many avenues for you, which you might not have even envisioned when you started that relationship. So a very simple example I will give you. Chitra is there in the room, Jaspreet is there in the room. I think we have multiple cross platforms where we are connected to each other. Chitra is originally known to me from Iron Lady, but I did not know her personally from Iron Lady, right? So Chitra reached out to me from this thing, with her own purpose of sales mentoring platform, and she reached out to me and decided to collaborate together, and I was more than happy to associate. Now, if I started looking at what is the immediate monetary benefit or immediate benefit that I can get from Chitra, probably I wouldn't have been tempted to say a yes to her. But when I said actually yes, because I was looking at establishing a long-standing relationship, Chitra made me meet Jaspreet. Chitra is the connection how Jaspreet happened, and Jaspreet is the connection now how 32 others of you are connected. So I think I wouldn't have, even if I didn't have the foresight that Chitra can open my door to multiple other avenues, I wouldn't be in this room itself today. So I think that in itself is a testament of how a long-standing relationship can go on to reap multifold benefits. So I am a constant believer of networking, meeting as many people as possible. And yes, ultimately, I mean, it's not just networking. Ultimately, Chitra's community helped me get monetary benefit in terms of many people reaching out to me for some kind of a mentoring, some kind of a consultancy. So the monetary aspect also happened later on, right? Now from here, if I can take back even 3 meaningful connections, and from there I go back to 3 goes to 9 and 9 goes to 27, I think my job is well done. And it all started a year and a half back. So I think that answers your question, Jaspreet. You can never replace a long-standing relationship with instant gratification.
Right. And I think you have to be there. You have to be there to take the chances. You have to be there to nurture those relationships as well. And that's how the compounding will happen eventually, right?
Absolutely.
I think that's something. So thank you, Rimjhim, for that. So guys, we'll just open it up for anything related to DHI, anything related to sales, anything related to anything, I guess. So maybe we can ask Rimjhim, and she's such a powerhouse of energy and positivity. So please take this opportunity, and whatever you want to ask, you can raise the hands. And she's a very good networker. You already know by now, I guess, right? So she can connect you with a lot of folks out there as well. So yeah, Arun bhai.
Aji.
I think Arun ji also wants, and I think Rajiv ji has also raised his hand. So.
Yeah.
Yes, so
Hanji, Arun bhai, please go ahead.
Rimjhim, first of all, thank you so much for wonderful presentation, and your talk was very profound and encouraging. Thank you so much. And one thing which I was talking to Jaspreet about, the business you are in, actually, hair transplant and all those things. So I'm not sure, like, whether nowadays it's trend going on, and I still believe, like, I'm in my mid 40s, and whether shall I go for hair transplant or not.
See, from the now that I have seen so many patients and so many consultations, I'm not a doctor, but the fact that we've done so many consultations and I've seen a lot of them happening, just from a visual that I get from you on screen, you definitely are a hair transplant patient. And but of course you should meet up at one of our clinics and get a detailed consultation with one of our surgeons, because that is the person who's going to he's the person who's going to guide you on the complete hair care treatment that you should take for a longer period of time. So we firmly believe that it's not like just because somebody walks in and we suggest them a hair transplant. We do not believe in that concept, because that will ultimately ruin our credibility in the market. And anything, if anything that DHI has done over the last 70 years of its existence is it comes across with extreme credibility, because it caters to the cream of the society. So it's very difficult for us to compromise on that credibility. So looking at from a visual perspective, definitely the hair and the hairline section, I think this part can definitely go for a hair transplant, somewhere between a range of, say, around 3,000 to 4,000 hairs. But a surgeon is the one who can actually take a look at the scalp and do a complete alopecia test, and then give you an exact estimate.
मेरा क्या होगा कल?
For you, I have hair prosthetics. Don't worry, I'll come to that.
Arun bhai, anything else you wanted to ask? Arun
yeah. So in general, how long will it take in case if I decide to come there? Because I'm.
So Arun is in US right now. Yeah.
Oh, so definitely if you're planning to come down to Delhi, I'll tell you something. As I mentioned during the presentation, the DHI procedure in itself is 0 scar, 0 blood loss, 0 pain, 0 downtime. So you can simply come in, walk in, have the surgery. It's a minimally invasive surgery. It's not like you have to sit in and relax at your home for 7 days. You cannot walk out or something. It's sometimes people feel a little conscious ki humne kuch karaya hai, so they feel a little conscious that, I don't want to go up. But other than that, like I give the example of my own MD, he got it done and then he was back in the office. हम लोगों से हमारा सेल्स का टारगेट क्या हुआ, नंबर क्या हुआ पूछने के लिए. So it is that easy and convenient. So whenever you want to come down, and we have such packages we have a lot of clients coming from US, Canada, coming down to the India clinic, because India's clinics are the most credible, and here is where all the surgeons across the world are trained. So I would definitely invite you to please come down. We'll be happy to host you, and you can get some kind of a package wherein you stay for 3 days, get a consultation, get a couple of days of surgery. Generally, so we hold the world record for 30,000 hairs in a single transplant session. That was done in Bangalore clinic. That extended over 3 days. So it is a 6-hour surgery completed over 3 days. So depending on the number of hairs that are to be implanted, I think we can figure out a treatment plan.
So can consultation be done
over a video?
through...
Yes, video consultations are possible, but you have to get in touch with me so that I can help you out with it.
Wonderful.
Or help you coordinate the same, because
Sure,
otherwise they will be charging you, and I don't want bank people to have to pay when I'm already around. So you just get in touch with me and I can help you coordinate the same internally.
And it's price same for anyone, like with a person coming from US?
So ideally, no, the price remains the same. The price remains the same. We generally price our hair at 110 rupees per hair. However, of course, there are when it goes beyond a certain number, like 5,000, 6,000, so it becomes a huge package. So a little margin of negotiation is always there. I think the clinic manager will take you through that. And yes, once you have reached the final price, now don't tell this to the DHI clinics. Once you reach the final price negotiated with them, then you come and ask me for a friends and family discount on that.
Sounds good. So maybe I'll text you, or I will, WhatsApp message you.
Sure.
I got your number, and I would like that. Thank you.
Absolutely, no problem.
Yeah, please, Charanji.
So Rimjhim, awesome energy and really infectious. I am a little more keen on knowing, and we could always do this over a cup of coffee, as you said.
Absolutely.
I'm interested to know more about the franchise model.
Franchise model for DHI, is
side
it?
of things. So somebody were.
Where are you looking for the franchise, Sharan?
So I have a few people in my network who are
okay.
looking at investment opportunities, and we
Okay.
do help people with deciphering, and so we look at franchise opportunities,
Right.
and then we help them dissect it and choose the right ones.
Correct.
So from that standpoint, I'm keen to understand if you have some literature on it, and probably we connect offline and
Yes, sure. So
understand ROI, IRR, all of those.
Absolutely. So there's a detailed financial model. So just to give you an understanding of the snapshot, probably I'll put something on the screen. Just a snapshot. While I talk, you can go through it, and of course we'll take it up in detail on the physical meetup or a Zoom meetup. So the master franchisee with it, so the models are very different when we are looking for something within India and something outside India. So within India, it's a very plain, clear business model wherein we give you 10 years of long-term exclusivity, and you have the clinic at your place, you have the consulting doctor, we train the consulting doctor free of cost, and the surgeon will fly down from my 3 nearest clinics, Bangalore, Kolkata and Delhi. That is where my medical directors sit. So they at least the clinic finalizes 3 surgeries back to back, and then my surgeon flies down and performs the 3 surgeries and comes back. So that's how it is. It's a 45-55 sharing, wherein 45% is my share and 55% is yours. We give you the products at 50% off, wherein let's say a product is priced at 1,500, so you get it at 750, and you are free to sell it at whatever rate you want, without any royalties to be given to us or without any profit sharing to be given to us. Apart from that, it's a very clear model. You spend on the the marketing actual expense you spend it on. We give you the entire marketing and backup support in terms of creation of content, creation of the making of the creatives, and the entire call center support. So we have a very dedicated call center across India, in Delhi, not across India, in Delhi, and there the dedicated call center is responsible for picking up the clients and ensuring that they land at your respective clinics, explaining the entire procedure to them, and then they land at your clinic. Then the consulting doctor takes over, and it's their job to close the sale, coordinating with the operations team based out of Delhi, and the surgeon flies down and performs the surgery. So it's a superbly successful model. Why do I say this is 8? We have seen the best case scenario. We have seen within 8 months ROI getting the payback period being ROI. The entire investment is returned back to the franchisee in 8 months. And the worst case scenario that we've seen is about 14 to 15 months. So even our worst case scenario is a very decent scenario. So and again, let me re-emphasize that the reason for that is the high ticket size, because we do not deal in very small chindi wala ticket size. It is a very decent ticket size of about 1.5 lakhs, 1.75 lakhs and above minimum. Okay, so we have teleclinic doing surgeries for one patient for 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 10 lakh rupees. So that's the kind. So it's very easy. You do 3 surgeries and you're sorted for the month, right? So that way it is. And of course, there's a much more detail that is there. So Charan will definitely get offline connected and look forward.
Thank you.
Anusha, you asked me, is this treatment permanent? Yes, it's a permanent treatment. All right. So hair transplant is a permanent treatment. The hairs that are transplanted will never come off. And Navneet, definitely. Sure. I will be more than happy to host you at my place. I don't know, Navneet, if you remember me or not, but we have spoken a couple of times when we were in Franchise India, when I was in Franchise India, and we couldn't really close the deal, but we've spoken a couple of times. Yeah.
Navneet ji to sabke sath connected hai, right?
Yeah. He's a very avid networker. Yeah.
Okay, but I think there could be a wonderful opportunity. So me and Chitra, we are doing an event on 10th of September in Delhi.
Okay.
We are doing a physical meetup for both the committees, both bank as well as sales mentoring. And guys, we'll share more details. Ayushi will share more details about that as well. So maybe that could also be a good opportunity, Rimjhim, if you can also be there. And of course, I'll invite everybody from bank also. So that would be a good opportunity for everybody to meet up in person and see whatever the possibilities are. Maybe Charan, and of course, the bankers would be there. So you guys can also be there, and good opportunity to meet everybody and take it forward from there.
Yeah, absolutely. More than happy.
Right,
More than
so
happy.
this
I
is
think
first time.
Rajiv ji had raised his hand, but then he pulled it down. So if he has a question, I would love to address that.
नहीं, वो एक्चुअली चरण जी ने बात कर लिया था। रिमझिम, मैं ये कंफर्म करना चाहता हूँ, आप जो ये प्रोडक्ट्स वगैरह यूज करते हैं, क्या ये सारे प्रोडक्ट आपके इंपोर्टेड होते हैं या आप
No, so the formulation and the R&D is Greece, but we have finalized on a local production for it, because otherwise the products were extremely exorbitantly priced, and the common masses wouldn't have been able to derive help out of it. So we decided to streamline the operations process, and we create the products here in India, but the formulation comes from Greece.
ओके, एक्चुअली मेरा इंटरनेशनल लॉजिस्टिक्स का बिजनेस है, जहाँ पे हम लोग एक्सपोर्टर इंपोर्टर्स को हेल्प करते हैं उनके गुड्स एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट कराने में।
अच्छा।
क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि ड्रग्स एंड कॉस्मेटिक एक्ट्स के अंदर काफी सारी प्रॉब्लम्स होती है एक्सपोर्ट और इंपोर्ट्स करने में। इन केस अगर आपको कभी कोई ऐसा कोई रिक्वायरमेंट हो इस पर्टिकुलर चीज का, तो हम लोग आपको हेल्प कर सकते हैं।
जी, sure, absolutely, no problem at all. Definitely look forward to connecting offline and see if there's a business synergy.
Thank you.
No problem.
Right, brilliant. So guys, any other questions? Maybe we can take one more and then we can probably wrap up.
I think the other people are happy with their hair.
I am afraid to ask.
No, so yes, I had to address Sudeepji's question.
I am afraid to ask.
So
110 rupees, I did the calculation. Well, then let it drop off.
So for you, so
I will need 10,000, 20,000 years.
So for you, probably I would not suggest hair transplant as such, but there is a wonderful this thing of hair prosthetics that we have, and our hair prosthetics are very seamless. So they are like it does not come across as no. When you see a wig, you can very easily figure out that it's a wig. Yeah.
Let me now frame the thing, right? So my era is almost on this parameter is done. So yes, what I am more concerned about, I see certain things about that with my son, right? Okay. And to my wife and daughter. So I saw some of your products, which was about this conditioner and this, and you have
Right.
shared the referral or the discounting code here, right?
Yeah.
It went up. Yeah. So
Yeah.
right. So
I
we
can share
can
that again. Yeah.
right. So we can go to your website and buy from there online.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
However, I would suggest do not take a call. This one is for laser caps. Do not take a call on your own that, okay, let us just try this shampoo and conditioner and figure out what happens. I would strongly recommend you, since it's a win-win scenario, no loss for you, you just go ahead and take a consultation and then get an idea of what it is and take a prudent decision.
I am at Faridabad. Do you have any outlet here?
No, Gurgaon and Delhi.
Gurgaon
So
and
you can come to Delhi, Safdarjung Enclave.
Safdarjung Enclave and Gurgaon at what place?
1 second, I'll share the address with you.
Okay.
It's mentioned on our website. The clinics are mentioned on our website. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would not suggest. See, this is one thing.
मैं तो अरुण जी का सुन के थोड़ा इंस्पायर्ड हुआ, फिर मैं 110 सुन के मैं बैकआउट मार दिया.
That's why I said, no, let Arunji negotiate to the best of his abilities. It will put his abilities to test. And after he's done that, he should come and ask for a friends and family discount from me. That's the best way to go about it.
Suddenly hearing your powerful speech, I got aspirational level. Oh, I will also look like Jasprit.
Please do.
Then I said no.
He just started calculating also that in that much of money.
I did it. Right, the moment she started, I was laughing. It is something specially meant only for me.
Sudeep would have thought that 4-5 lakh रुपए में तो सिर भी साथ में आ जाएगा.
No, I'm sure, Sudeepji, I would strongly recommend you. Please, I would be happy to welcome you, host you at that Delhi clinic. Please do come in and take a consultation, and they'll be the right person. For me, from what I see, hair prosthetics is the answer. For your son, if he's going through an early stage alopecia, early stage hair loss, this is the right time to arrest it. How old is he?
He's now in class 7, 11 years.
Okay. Oh, too young. You shouldn't be bothered that much. He will start having girlfriends after 5 years. You have some time to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So when you were talking about having the blood and ruling it for the plasma, I thought मेरा तो बहुत blood लगेगा वो plasma निकाल के skull पे डाले.
No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work on a quantified volume basis कि इतना जगह खाली है तो इतना blood लगेगा. It doesn't work like that. It's not simple mathematics like that.
Right. So it was very wonderful meeting you. We are connected over LinkedIn, but yes, we were always virtual. So
Absolutely.
I see your post and that's how wonderful meeting you.
Same here. Yeah.
I think we'll meet pretty soon now, Sudeep. As I said, maybe 10th of September.
By the way, Rimjhim, I think yes, I will be the only bong. Do we have any bong in bank? No. Right. So,
you are the representative, Sudeep.
No problem.
So definitely meeting on this meet. You will have
absolutely. Look forward to it. Look forward to having some bong conversations.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, brilliant.
I think thank you so much, Jasprit. It was lovely interacting.
Yeah. Of course, I think as we said, a lot of positivity and energy. All of us need that dose of energy which you bring to the table, as well as obviously a lot of background and the confidence you display in terms of sales, which is very, very important, I think, for all of our business owners. So thank you so much for joining such a wonderful bankable talk session, and it's really good to have so many people from different businesses, different countries, different locations, and getting the benefit out of that.